Hey guys, what's up? It's FYR Natal.
And this is ABC, FYR, EMP, Bronx Zoo, McDonald's, VXG Mike, and I'm just letting you guys know you can save 20%. Just
Hey guys, welcome to episode 8 of season 3 of Fight Your Rival. I'm Natal.
I'm Mike.
And we're not going to waste any time. Here you go, guys. Here's the rushdown.
The Rushdown.
So everyone out there in the FGC knows that a giant tournament just passed this weekend.
Yep.
If you guys aren't aware of what tournament passed, it was Final Round 16 held in the good old ATL. Now, there was a lot going on this tournament. There were a lot of upsets. There were a lot of great matches. There was a lot of drama. But if you guys saw it, you know what happened, but we're going to give you our overall impression. So, Mike, out of everything you saw those 3 days, the final round, what were your highlights? What were the hypest parts?
Well, some of the hypest parts for me were on the very first day, on Friday, which, if you guys don't know, was the Curly Mustache Battle Royale.
Mm-hmm.
And it was basically a huge tournament put together by Yipes in final round, and it was a regional team Marvel tournament.
That's epic.
Which is really awesome because there's so many good players from New York, from NorCal, SoCal, even Japan now.
Yeah.
So, you know, it was basically a time to see who's best of the best, you know, in the world, literally. There were a lot of impressive teams. Team Florida, guys like Green Ace, who don't get a ton of time on stream, really got to like do their thing, show off their skills. I'm obviously really excited because Team New York City won.
Yep, with the
Shout out to
best.
New York, yep. Just the way we won, Chris G literally 10-0'd Team SoCal.
Yeah.
Combo Fiend actually played for Team SoCal, which was exciting.
Yes.
Obviously, Combo Fiend works for Capcom now, and he lives in NorCal, so you haven't really seen him at tournaments lately. So to see him get his action, that was exciting. And yeah, definitely one of my favorite parts of the weekend, the Curly Mustache. And my other favorite moment of the weekend was easily the Street Fighter Cross Tekken finals.
Oh, yeah, dude. Definitely.
The fact that we can now say Cross Tekken was arguably the hypest part of a tournament is just amazing. You know, I've always loved the game, but the level that it's reached now, huge shout out to Seth LOL.
Yes, congratulations, dude.
With that Kuma that's just completely on another level. The grand final set between him and Infiltration was really amazing.
Yes.
Not only was I rooting for him, just I love his team, but the fact that, you know, it was us defending our turf against Infiltration, the way him and all his corn homies just went nuts after he won. But all the top 8 matches, everyone in there, you know, the games, everyone's gotten so good across Tekken. It's so fun to watch. Guys like Punko, Justin, everyone. So definitely catch those grand finals if you're going to watch anything from final round.
So my biggest highlight was the Cross Tekken grand finals. I woke up early Sunday morning, 10 a.m. I was like, let me put on the stream. I was like, oh, they're putting Cross Tekken first. All right, let's see how it is. I was blown away. The rest of the tournament, it was good. It was like I really enjoyed it. Marvel was boring because once I found out Chris G was in top 8, I knew he was going to win. You know, that's just a testament to show how great he is at the game.
Yeah.
But Cross Tekken was amazing. It was fantastic. It really hyped me to play the game.
Oh,
Even
yeah.
like Spooky and Combo Fiend said, like Spooky jumped on the mic for like the finals.
Yep.
And like once it was over, he was like, man, I'm so hyped. I want to leave and go play this game
Oh,
right
yeah.
now. I felt the same way.
That night on Twitter, it was like midnight, tournament wrapped up, Spooky's on Twitter saying, oh, who's playing Cross Tekken right now?
Yeah.
And everyone got hyped up watching that set.
But besides Cross Tekken, the other thing that I enjoyed a lot during Final Round 16 was the DOA 5 finals.
Yes.
It was really fun. It was really great. Rikudo was in the grand final. Shoutouts to Rikudo for that. But, you know, Excalibur Blades took it. 14 years old. He won whatever final round had for him, plus an extra $5,000 thrown on there from Team Ninja.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
Yeah, shout outs to Team Ninja for always supporting the game.
It impressed me. It makes me realize I always thought DOA was just a game with really nice graphics and huge breasts, but like
Which it is.
It is. No, it still is. The core of it hasn't disappeared, but it's a really good game. It's really good to watch top players play.
I was super entertained, especially watching Rikudo fight Excalibur Blades and, you know, different characters used. Of course, Rikudo using that Bayman. Excalibur switching to Alpha, which was crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how nuts that character was.
Yeah. So the last thing I really liked about Final Round 16 were, I don't know if you got to see them, but the little transitions of the characters.
Oh, those are great.
Like the players, and it was like the cool moments of them and like their little Twitter name and stuff like that. It was really cool. It shows that since SCR, where they have the little like, you know, beef with the microphone setup, like that. The tournaments are doing things like that, and I really like that. It really gives it a professional sports feel. Like if Topps came out with baseball cards, like fighting games, I would buy the first series.
Hell yeah. That's our sport, you know. And just like like Natalia said, the bar has definitely been raised. Production at tournaments in general has really been stepped up. While we're on the note of professionalism, there was a little bit of bad news from final round.
Yeah.
A little bit of drama, just to keep it simple for you guys. Basically, Fanatiq was commentating Marvel like he often does, and he basically kind of over-promoted his AG promo code. Spooky didn't really like that, especially since AG doesn't sponsor the tournaments themselves, so they were just getting free promotion for nothing. And so he basically, put the AG guys on blast. He wouldn't even feature their tags.
Yes.
He was like, they're not getting any more free advertisement. Since then, Fanatiq has actually been dropped from PDP, which is, it kind of sucks because he kind of was their flagship player. But, it's a matter of professionalism. You do have to represent your company. And definitely wish him the best of luck. He's still a really talented guy, so I think he'll find something. Spooky put out a video explaining the situation. He still has a lot of respect for AG and the team, so he'll continue to feature them. Everything's cool. He just everyone just gotta stay professional and really watch how they act.
I can understand where Spooky's coming from. I'm not trying to be Fanatiq's lawyer or anything, but I understand, like, tournaments, you get hype, you land up saying things you probably shouldn't have said or whatnot, and, he was probably just overall happy and everything, and, the AGE crew has been doing great. At Winter Brawl, it almost felt like Winter Brawl was for AGE because they were steamrolling over everyone.
True.
So, the hype and the train was rolling, so I understand, he got in the moment and whatnot. It's unfortunate he got dropped from PDP because of it. But, hopefully it's a lesson learned. I mean, Fanatiq is an awesome dude. Like, we've spoken to him a couple of times.
We've had nothing but great experiences hanging out with him.
Yeah, he's a really nice guy. So I hope people who don't know him or aren't really aware of it, don't let this taint your overall impressions of Fanatiq. He's still an awesome dude. So sucks for him, but I understand where everyone was coming from. Overall, at the end of the day, it is a business.
Yeah, that's all it is. That's why the decisions that were made were made.
Mm-hmm.
So speaking of high-level play and tournament games, we finally got a chance to play Injustice.
Yes, we did.
The demo is officially released on both Xbox Live and PlayStation Network. People have been playing the crap out of it. There's already tons of combo videos everywhere. We have a video, wink wink, check it out.
Mm-hmm.
And me and Natal have very different opinions about the game. Me personally, I definitely got what I expected. The game to me feels a lot like MK9, but more blown wide open. The game feels overall faster than Mortal Kombat. The special abilities really mix things up. The interactables. And I personally had a lot of fun with it. I thought Wonder Woman is really cool to play. I love her mobility. Batman's the all-arounder you'd expect, just like Lex is the big bruiser I expected. So I personally really enjoyed it so far.
See, me on the other hand, I didn't like it. I don't like the character voice, whoever it is, whatever retarded robot it is that's saying their names. It sounds awful. I mean, maybe I'm used to NetherRealms and like big, broody, beefy guys saying like Sub-Zero. Then to hear Wonder Woman. It's really weird to me. And the fact that there was no background music, it was just atmospheric sounds, I really didn't like that. And the fact that I couldn't choose my control scheme. Like, really, I can't map my own buttons on a demo?
Yeah, and that was my one gripe. Obviously, we should have complained it was a free demo, but the point of this demo is really to help people learn the game. And I found it kind of iffy that you couldn't even look at the controls.
Yeah.
That was a little strange to me. Obviously, it's not going to be an issue in the game,
yeah.
But even for a basic demo feature, it would have been nice to actually set my own controls and just know what everything is.
And when it comes to the game graphically, I don't really think it's that impressive. I personally think that, Tag 2, SoCal 5, even MK9 look better. But I do understand that probably they had to scale back on graphics because the backgrounds are so interactive.
Yes.
They're multi-level. Like, I tried my best to reason within myself to actually find good points of the demo, and I'm hoping it might be like Dead Space. If you guys ever played the Dead Space demo before the game, the Dead Space demo was dog shit, and it made me not buy the game. And then my homeboy bought the game and told me that it was awesome, and I actually sat down and played it, and then the game was awesome.
So you know what they say, never judge a game by its demo.
Yeah, it's true. So right now, Injustice gets a big thumbs down for me, but hopefully by the 16th, the one thumb will go up or both, or they'll go to the sides.
Yeah.
So that's how I feel about that Injustice demo.
And keep in mind, guys, this is an early build of the game. People have found infinites that have already been patched out, so, some of the things you might hate about the game might actually be in there.
Yeah. Or
the game will come out, and you can't even customize your controls, and you'll hate it.
We'll see. Exactly. And one stage only.
Yeah. And speaking of Injustice, you don't have to wait till April 16th to play it technically because it's actually available right now on iOS.
Yeah. Surprisingly enough, I just heard that it was coming out and found out that it came out all in the same day, which is awesome. Usually news and downloads don't happen that fast. But if you guys have an iOS device, sorry Android users, BlackBerry users, anyone with a Nokia phone, yep. Sorry guys, no Injustice game for you, but if you have an iOS phone or an iPad or even the latest iPod Touch, it's on there. If you're wondering how it's going to play, it's actually 3-on-3 battle, which excited me.
Very exciting.
It's really cool. All the buttons, all the fighting mechanics is almost like DOA 5 Plus on the Vita. If you guys didn't get it, it's all touchscreen. 2 fingers on the screen to block, which is funny. That's how you block in DOA 5 Plus.
That's funny.
Swiping does like more of the heavier attacks. All the characters from the game are in there, which is pretty epic. And one of the things that I like the most is the fact that the console and the iOS one coincide with each other.
Yeah, I'm very excited about the synergy between the iOS and the console game. Basically, the points that you earn in the iOS game can actually be used to unlock skins in the console game. This is a pretty big deal. It's not, some useless bonus, especially when costumes usually cost money. They're actually giving you a free way to earn them and unlock them. And just the game itself looks great. It's free. There's no reason not to pick it up. It's definitely good. It'll definitely tide people over till the game drops in 2 weeks. And I'd say there's no reason not to play it. If you have an iPhone, iPad, iPod Touch, I think only the latest iPod Touch.
Yes.
Download it, pick it up, let us know what you think.
So unfortunately, Jason Voorhees won't be able to kill anyone this month because the 13th doesn't fall on a Friday. It falls on a Saturday.
Unfortunately.
But if Jason Voorhees was a fan of fighting games, he would blow his mind and come to New York.
Yes, he would. So Saturday, April 13th marks the start of the annual Spring Fighter event at NYU. And it's usually just a yearly Street Fighter tournament. Sometimes industry people show up. Seth Killian's been there before to host a panel. And he's actually doing a similar thing this year. In addition to there being a tournament for AE, Marvel, and Cross Tekken.
Wow, it's all three?
All three of the big three Capcom games. There's also going to be that same night a Q&A discussion between Seth Killian and Daigo Umehara. So you have, 2 legends of Street Fighter in their own ways just hanging out and talking. It's going to be a great event. Even if you're not into competing and you're in the New York City area, I recommend coming out. And this is a rare chance to actually just see Daigo. This is someone who travels a lot, but he's not in New York City very often. And, this isn't a tournament, so you actually probably get to say hi to him and really, get some insight from probably the best Street Fighter player in the world.
It's really epic, guys. Remember, it's Saturday, April 13th. It's at NYU. If you're wondering which NYU building, because they dominate all of Lower Manhattan,
yes,
you could look into it. But we'll be there. We'll have a camera. We'll do our normal FYR thing, and maybe you'll get to play us in pools and get embarrassed by us or not, depending on what games we're playing that week.
Yeah, I just hope we get a Fight Your Rival interview with Daigo.
Oh, that'd be epic.
And we actually secretly discover that he speaks perfect English, and he's just been keeping it on the low. He's actually got a thick Brooklyn accent, just nobody knew. But so you guys know, registration starts April 8th.
Oh, wow.
So
okay.
look up the NYU Game Center. That's the organization that's running it. Look them up, go to their website, and make sure you register April 8th. It's free, but register on time because it's going to fill up very, very fast. Everyone wants to meet Daigo. I mean, who doesn't?
And who doesn't want to participate in a free tournament?
Yeah. So somehow Chris G will be there and take all our money.
Yeah.
I'll be like, where'd my $10 go?
Yeah.
I didn't even give it to anyone. In all seriousness, it's going to be a great event. Definitely register April 8th and come out. It's going to be a great time. So speaking of tournaments and the New York City area, this is definitely a great time to check out the Battle Circuit tournaments at Next Level in Brooklyn. They're actually hosting an 8-week ranking battle, and the winner gets to go to VXG.
That's so cool.
Yeah, shoutouts to our boy Rolando Bryson. I know you're watching.
Yeah.
They've been doing a great job at letting players earn a trip. They're flying so many people out there because of people that have won tournaments, things like that. And this is really exciting. There's never really been a Randat in New York. Wednesday Night Fights does that stuff all the time. It starts, I guess, the week of April 3rd. It's going to run for 8 weeks. The really cool thing is, if you're already going, or if you're VXG, you can't win the trip. So let's say Sanford comes in first, Dominion comes in second. If you place third, you're going to the beach.
Wow, awesome.
So yeah, if they're either sponsored already or they've already won a trip, they can't go. So the chance to win is actually pretty high if you're just a unsponsored player that have just been grinding Cross Tekken. And I think it's great. I think it's keeping Cross Tekken hype. Just like Final Round did. The hype train just keeps the roll. And if you're in New York, you play Cross Tekken, there's no reason not to come out to next level.
And dude, like if you're good enough, you could win a free trip to the Caribbean. Come on.
To the beach.
Who doesn't want to go to the beach? Remember, Shang Tsung's gonna be there.
Yeah.
Ever since the update, Cross Tekken has had this new life breathed into the game, and everyone is just playing it, and everyone's having a good old time.
It's back on top.
I don't know if it ever was on top. Probably was the day it came out until everyone realized that this was broken as hell with everything hiding in it. But it's good to see that I don't hear people screaming negative comments about the game. I'm glad that people are finally like, wow, this game is pretty epic.
I agree.
It is.
And speaking of screaming and negative comments and ranting, I think it's time to get to the tweets of the week.
Oh, definitely, dude.
Tweet of the week.
So our first tweet of the week comes from Dacid Bro regarding this weekend's actions, and he said, Lauren, talented musician, intelligent man, Fanatiq, living pop-off, walking commercial, the FGC's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Which is kind of funny, it's kind of true. Like we said, we love Fanatiq, he's an awesome guy, but it is funny how he has those two sides of him. He's got the pop-off side, he's got the professional side, but hey, that's what makes him who he is.
I honestly think he should run with this and probably get like some Two-Face makeup when he goes to a tournament, or wear like a Phantom of the Opera mask, and then just swap it when he's in mid-conversation or mid-interview, so you don't know which version of Fanatiq you're gonna get. I think he should play off on it, but yeah, Fanatiq is an awesome dude.
Yeah, shouts to him.
Alright, our second tweet of the week comes from Peter Rosas, aka Combo Fiend, and he decided to write, if you missed the SFXT finals at Final Round 16, I feel so bad for you. That was way too hyped for its own good.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, that's what the first half of this episode was about, talking about how hyped that Cross Tekken Final Round 16 was. So good.
Cross Tekken hasn't been this hyped since the first reveal trailer at Comic-Con.
Yeah,
so
seriously.
It's a pretty big deal. And easily taking the cake for our tweet of the week is Alex Jabali, host and CEO, and he's always trolling the community. And this week he said, hosting a live Injustice tournament this weekend in Orlando. All characters are banned except Wonder Woman, Batman, and Lex Luthor. Which, if you guys played the demo, you'll get it because it's the only characters you can play. But in all seriousness, he is planning to do a lot to support that game at CEO. Fighter Mania is supposed to have a really cool like Capcom versus MK type of exhibition, like the different communities. Shouts to Jabali for trolling, but also, doing some cool stuff. So while the demo doesn't have this feature, hopefully the final build of Justice does. It's Random Select, and it also happens to be our next segment.
Random Select.
So my Random Select of the week is pretty relevant to the FGC. It's the latest Hawkeye comic series by Matt Fraction, and it started about last summer. I think they're about 9 issues in. And it's just one of those great comics that anyone could enjoy. There's no crazy mythology going on. You don't need to know anything about the Avengers, anything about Marvel. It's literally the day-to-day life of Hawkeye, of Clint Barton, living in his Brooklyn apartment, getting laid, dealing with a shitty landlord. You won't see a lot of monsters. You'll see the guys he fights are like the Russian mob in his neighborhood. So it's a very it's kind of like the everyman's comic, very relatable, very funny, great art. The art style is very 60s, 70s classic comic book style.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
With a little touch of modern stuff in there. So the writing is perfect. I mean, Matt Fraction's an amazing writer. It's hilarious. It's action-packed. There's great dynamic between Clint and Kate Bishop, who's the female Hawkeye. And it's a great book. I'd recommend it to anyone.
So that Hawkeye comic sounds pretty epic, dude. My random select of the week is epic to me. It's the Evil Dead movie that's coming out this Friday. It is a remake of the 1981 classic. I do like the fact that this one's like the first one. It's gritty, it's horror, it's not comedic, it's not slapsticky. If you guys are fans of the Evil Dead franchise, by Evil Dead 2 and then into Army of Darkness, it became a very comic genre, which isn't bad. I love comedies.
All right.
And Bruce Campbell's hilarious. He's amazing. But guys, check it out. If you never watched the originals, watch it. I believe Evil Dead 1 is still on Netflix. If not, ask your creepy horror friend who lives in his mom's basement. He definitely has a copy on every media format that came out. So borrow it from him and then go check out the new one on Friday. And I'm really excited because every poster just says the most terrifying film of all time. That's all the posters say.
That's awesome.
So it better live up to the poster.
Yeah, you'll be the guy laughing in the theater. Mm-hmm. I'll be the guy all the way in the back, clenching to my popcorn, trying not to shit my pants. Yeah. But definitely check out Evil Dead. It should be great.
And I think that pretty much wraps up Fight Your Rival, right?
It's been a long episode. Lots of drama, lots of hype, lots of gore, lots of Russians.
Yep.
And as always, this is Mike.
Natal.
And remember, guys,
keep fighting.